according to Sondland, the ambassador to the European Union has not only agreed to speak to congressional leaders who are looking to investigate and impeach Donald Trump, he has just completely thrown Trump under the bus and included Rudy Giuliani in the mix as well. So according to multiple reports, in a prepared 18-page statement, Sondland actually told Congress that Rudy Giuliani told him that Trump wanted Ukraine's new president, Vladimir Zelensky, to investigate the Bidens and the DNC server in an effort to help with this election, re-election. So let me give you actual excerpts from his prepared statement. And again, he testified today. We'll have a better sense of what was said during the testimony later, but here's what we know from this prepared statement. He wrote, quote, "I did not understand until much later that Mr. Giuliani's agenda might have also included an effort to prompt the Ukrainians to investigate Vice President Biden or his son, or to involve Ukrainians directly or indirectly in the president's 2020 re-election campaign." Sondland's opening statement also indicated that Trump refused to take the counsel of his top diplomats who recommended to him that he meet with the Ukrainian president, Vladimir Zelensky, without any preconditions. Now, this is important to bring up because remember, there was the call that Donald Trump had with Zelensky, and then there was a separate issue where quid pro quo was honestly proven. So in that case, Vladimir Zelensky wanted to have a meeting with Donald Trump in the White House, and Donald Trump, his administration essentially told him and the Ukrainians, well, that meeting is not gonna happen unless you make a public announcement that you're launching an investigation into Hunter Biden. So obviously he wanted that public announcement, Donald Trump did, because it would help bolster this argument that there was corruption going on or an abuse of power going on with the Bidens. Now there's more from the statement, and I'll get to that after you guys weigh in.
Yeah, so does anyone believe that Donald Trump was so concerned about corruption in Ukraine, and that the top thing he was concerned about, the poor Ukrainians and the corruption they have to deal with, was Hunter Biden? Nobody believes that. I don't care how MAGA you are. I don't care how many red hats you have. Now, look, by the way, we're open and honest, unlike the Democrats and unlike the Republicans. We also don't believe that Hunter Biden has any expertise in Ukrainian gas.
And didn't earn that job, that very lucrative position, yeah.
Of course he got it based on his name. Of course they were trying to curry favor with the administration at the same time. But you, if you were anywhere near honest, would also have to admit that Donald Trump doesn't care about Ukrainian corruption. That's not why he's asking about Hunter Biden.
By the way, and so if someone does make the argument that Donald Trump, the only reason why he cares is because it's corruption and he really wants to drain the swamp in Ukraine. Okay, well, then how do you explain away the fact that Donald Trump reached out to the leader of China and asked him to investigate Joe Biden and Elizabeth Warren?
Just a random coincidence.
Come on.
No, he was really concerned, hey, I got a little too much corruption in Shanghai and Beijing. But the main thing I'm concerned about is how Warren and Biden are corrupting China.
This is why I can't believe still that Donald Trump won. It's the clunkiest con. It seemed all so clunky to me. And even as we lay out these facts, they're clunky, they're obvious, and yet there he sits.
Yep.
I know. So let me give you more from his prepared statement. It also says, we were also disappointed by the president's direction that we involve Mr. Giuliani. Our view was that the men and women of the State Department, not the president's personal lawyer, should take responsibility for all aspects of US foreign policy toward Ukraine. So in that statement, he is drawing attention to the shadow foreign policy that was going on with Giuliani's involvement.
So Sondland is, this is important context, is a huge Trump donor. That's how he got the job in the first place. He runs a chain of hotels, but unlike Donald Trump, is not a moron. So what he's doing there is saying, look, man, I didn't want Giuliani to run our diplomacy. I know, he gets that he doesn't even belong there, right? But he's like, but my job was a diplomat. And so I'm representing the United States of America to the European Union. And I didn't want Giuliani to get involved. Now, why would you say that? You'd only say that if you know for sure that what Giuliani was doing was wrong. Okay, so this is Sondland saying, it wasn't me.
I know, but look, I take what he says with a grain of salt, because remember, Sondland is implicated in this entire investigation because Congress got a hold of text messages between Sondland and other officials, and Sondland is the one who's like, let's take this off of text messages. And at one point, someone says something about, there are issues here. It seems like Trump is trying to dig up dirt on his political rivals, and then Sondland jumps in and says, no, that's not what's happening. We should take this off text messaging.
Well, so he tried to clarify that today.
Yeah.
One part was total BS.
Yeah.
He's like, no, I wasn't trying to get it off the written record. I prefer calls to text.
No one
believes
prefers
that.
calls to text. Let's keep it real.
No, you might, but that's not why you were like, don't say that on text, okay? Anyway, but to double down on what Anna was saying and related to this, here's another quote. Please know that I would not have recommended that Mr. Giuliani or any private citizen be involved in these foreign policy matters. However, given the president's explicit direction, as well as the importance we attach to the arranging a White House meeting between Presidents Trump and Zelensky, we agreed to do as President Trump directed. In other words, look, man, Trump directed me. He explicitly told me to do it. I wouldn't have done it otherwise. Now, why do you say I wouldn't have done it otherwise? Because you know that it was illegal. And so he's not saying, if you're looking at who gave the order, it wasn't me, it was the president who gave the order.
So let me give you a little bit more from the statement, last part of it. It was apparent to all of us that the key to changing the president's mind on Ukraine was Mr. Giuliani. It is my understanding that Energy Secretary Perry and Special Envoy Volker took the lead on reaching out to Mr. Giuliani as the president had directed.
So he's throwing Perry and Volker a little bit under the bus. And guess what? Perry left today. So Perry said, no, I'm out, I'm outie, gone, right? And Volker left earlier. So everyone involved in the Ukrainian story understands that it's radioactive. Somebody's going to prison, and all these people are raising their hand going, it ain't me, I'll see you, I'm gone. And so now Sondland telling in sworn testimony, it was the president who directed the action. And the reason he says that, because he knows it's an illegal action.
Sometimes illegality can inspire art, and that's what happened with Jim Carrey. And he actually did this awesome piece of art for New York Magazine. And so I just wanted to show you this last graphic that features Giuliani. And I like it because it does perfectly symbolize who Giuliani has been during this entire process, what he represents when he goes on cable news and tries to make any type of point defending himself. All he does is incriminate more people and push this investigation forward, which is good, which is why Biden should not want him to avoid or should not want cable news networks to stop booking him as a guest.
If you notice that the quote at the bottom was, "Eek," said the spider. Right. And there in the picture, he literally looks radioactive.
Yeah.
Right, at least in the cartoon version. Jim Carrey does those great cartoons. I like that he found this second calling, which is pretty neat. Yeah. But I also want to give the poll to you guys one more time. tyt.com/theend. Will Donald Trump survive or won't he? Will he make it to the end of his term, this term? And you know what my thinking on that is tick, 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 tick. And that's why guys like Sondland, who were a huge backer of Donald Trump, are now saying, you're not throwing me under the bus, I'm throwing you under the bus.
Yeah, no one wants the stink of the administration on them anymore, except maybe Giuliani, who seems to just like to roll around in that stink.
Yeah, exactly right.
That's a good way of putting it.
Yeah, Giuliani and Trump, peas in a pod, and they've been together for a long time. I hope they share one more room together, and it's a jail cell. Now.